Parsa Izadpanah. I'm the founder and CEO of Future Elite Soccer, based in Ashburn, Virginia, Northern Virginia, to be exact.
Awesome. Now, take me back. What drew you to the world of coaching in soccer? Give me a quick overview of your journey from the start.
Yeah, the thing is, I believe that the youth doesn't necessarily get the coaching and mentorship that I wish we had in the back, like when I say back in my day, like a few years ago. And that's something I noticed that there's a big gap between the talented players and the mental side. And there are a lot of talented players, but when they reach a very challenging moment, whether in their soccer career or just real life, they kind of crumble. So not having that mentorship or guidance on how to deal with those challenges. So that's where I decided to form Future Elite Soccer and Mindset Training to make sure that is a solution as much
Yeah.
as we can in that regard. So
Yeah, I love how you saw that need in you, came up with your own solution, your own way to address that. Yeah, you kind of hit on the first question, like what made you start Future Elites, and what the gap was that inspired you to create something different. But I wanted to touch on the fact that you started your business in 2020, which was a crazy year, as we all know.
yeah.
What was kind of going through your mind as you launched a new venture during such a hard time?
I honestly thought COVID would be done in 2-3 months.
I think we all
So
did.
when I was actually formed in March 25th, 2020, so that was like peak COVID time. And I thought, all right, it's gonna be done in June time. Would be good to get started officially. That wasn't the case, as you know. But I think it was just that I was very serious about it, and there was no plan B. And I didn't really enjoy working for someone because I experienced it, and it was very not built for my personality. I like to have that freedom to do what I actually want to do. So when I formed that, it was, there's no plan B, like I mentioned. It was that we're gonna get it done. So I had my best friend to help me out with shooting the videos. I remember I used to wake up 6 a.m. in the morning, go to the field, shoot a lot of videos, and edit all myself at night till like 2 a.m., then do it again, over and over and over again. And I mean, when I formed that social media account, that is now 20K plus followers. We started with 80 followers with my family members, friends, and all that. So it took a long time to get where we're at, but I believe that's why it's so enjoying. It's very joyful to look back at, and dang, we've come a long way so far.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I bet that's so fulfilling. You built this truly from scratch. What kept you going at 2 a.m.? Was it just that need that you had for something like this, or what was your like driving force?
I think the main important thing, or there are many factors.
Yeah.
One is more so of a selfish way for myself that I want to make something for myself. But the most important two things that I can think of is my family and the youth. By family, I mean like I was born in Iran, and I came here when I was 10 years old. And my parents, my family, we had a very good life over there. But they sacrificed everything to come here for me. And I'm an only child, so they literally sacrificed everything for me. And when I look back at that, it's like, okay, these are all worth it. The 2 a.m., the waking up early, the getting the rejections, and all those things, and you keep going, it's because you're doing it for the people that mean a lot to you. So that's one. And then the youth, obviously, that's why I'm doing it for. I don't want them to go through similar things that I went through, and also my coaches right now, that they experience those things. I don't want them to experience those things. I want them to have a guidance, mentorship to, have a better life in their teenage and adolescence aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so beautiful, like speaking about your family and how that drives you, but also what you're doing for the youth. I really respect that.
Thank you.
How does your personal journey as a player for 17 plus years influence the way you coach today's
Yeah.
youth?
In Iran, it's basically in the culture of it. Like football, soccer is in the culture. You start playing from the womb, kind of sense. But like, I always remember being one of the youngest players in every team that I played for, and it was kind of a good thing because you're young and you're playing for the higher team. And I remember like I was in I was in second grade, 8 years old, and my school's team, they requested me to play for the fifth graders team, and it was a huge thing, and I was nervous, but the coach talked to me like, I see this, that you are capable of doing that, and that alone, just I mean, 20, 18 plus years, and I can still think about, like, I remember those things. Fast forward, I mean, I played at good academies in Iran, but when we came here, unfortunately, like, financial aspect, we weren't able to necessarily like register for the club soccer, because it's quite an investment, especially
Yeah,
now.
I know.
So I didn't really play travel soccer at all. I played 4 years of varsity soccer, and I think, to be honest, is that I've learned more so on my last year of high school, and just being a student of the game, like truly observing and watching and studying the players that are playing at a professional level, just watching those technical breakdowns. I think that's what allowed me to really be more successful as a coach, because it's a different game when you, like, it's important to play at a higher level. At the same time, if you're not able to convey your message, the players and the youth won't really grasp those information.
Yeah.
And I've had that issue with a lot of coaches that I've brought in that play at a higher level, professional level, but they couldn't necessarily convey it, and they expected the players to already know how to do certain things and all that. So yeah, I think a combination of both definitely helped me out to become a better coach in that sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. You focus just as much on mindset as you do on physical training. Why do you believe mindset is the missing piece for young athletes? I mean, it sort of goes into a little bit of what you just said.
Yeah, I believe that anyone can do all those fancy skills and all those good stuff when no challenges are occurring. It's a playful environment, but what happens when the parents on the side are yelling, and when you play at a higher level, the fans are booing, all those pressure that is building up, you mess up a tackle, or you mess up a 1v1, and then everything goes downhill. How can you bounce back from that? And I mean, even in the professional environment, there are a lot of players that are still dealing with these situations. So it's very common, and being able to help the players, help the youth to grasp how to catch themselves when they're going downhill, when those negative thoughts are building up, to catch themselves and not switch, have that switch right away, whether it's from a breath work or just like a reminder of like who you are, you've been putting the work behind the scenes. I think that's the most important pillar of becoming a successful athlete, but also a human being, because life is going to throw you those lemons, and how you deal with them is totally on you. The type of lemons that you deal with obviously is not up to you, but how you deal with it is very important, and that's why I believe the mindset aspect is such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's that being so in control and so in tune with yourself that you're able to have that shift. It reminds me, I'm a musician, so it reminds me of kind of performing. Like, it's one thing to practice and to say, like, I'm going to stay in this mindset, but when you have an audience and when you have all these different factors, it's really important to kind of do the same, to be able to address your mindset and make that shift, like, in the moment. So
And I bet, like, it's a lot of nerves
absolutely
piling up when you're in front of a crowd.
Yeah, because it's a performance
Yeah.
with soccer as well.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's super interesting. What is one breakthrough moment you've seen in a player after helping them shift their mindset? If you can think of just one.
I have multiple ones. Can I get two?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. One is this player in during wintertime futsal season. He's a very good player, but he was also going against a very good player in a 1v1 situation, and he kept messing up. So that kind of got in his head. Oh, I'm not good. And I just sent everyone for a water break, and I was talking to him, and I remember I just reminded him of how much of a skillful player he is, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna do a rainbow flick over him this time." I was like, "Yeah, do it." And literally, I kid you not, he did a rainbow flick over him successfully, and it was just amazing because I was like, "You see that? You are capable of that," and that was just beautiful, you know. And I don't know that moment. I was so upset that we didn't catch it on camera because that was just such a wholesome moment. But I'm glad that that conversation took place and I didn't just let him believe that type of mentality. The next one is he's been training with us for I want to say almost 3 years now, and he started as a less confident player, and just every time he messed up, just fully down. Sometimes he actually broke down, like crying. But now I'm looking at him like the amount of resilience he's built, and like he messes up at 1v1, he messes up a technique. He still shows that frustration, but he bounces back right away. Like I don't need to remind him anymore. And those things are beautiful because then as you grow, you don't need me or you don't need the coaches to remind you. You've already built that muscle memory in the mindset aspect, and that's our goal, because I don't want everyone to just come back, oh, how do I do? Like, no, we're gonna coach you for a consistent time, but the plan is to build you to that level of a leadership so you don't need us anymore.
Yeah, and resilience too is something that is so important throughout life. So you're giving these kids skills for their entire lives. Like once you build up that resilience muscle, you have that. So that's really amazing. What values do you lead with as a coach, and how do you bring those to life on the field?
Number one is, I call this the humble beginnings. We always say, if you're not able to do what I'm asking for you to do, let's break it down to a simpler terms in a sense, aka humble beginnings. So an example, like if you're juggling a ball and you can't do 4 in a row, all right, let's try with you juggle 1, catch it, juggle 2, catch it, and just work your way up, aka humble beginnings. That's one. The second thing I would say is resilience, without a doubt. It's you keep going, because in my opinion, I believe God truly rewards those people that are resilient about what they want to do. They don't give up. They keep going. And I think that's very important. Not just in soccer, but just in life. And the third thing is kindness. Whether it's through sportsmanship or you see someone need help, just like lifting them up mentally, not necessarily pointing fingers or blaming them. It's more so you're lifting them up and being that leader that you want someone else to lead you in that aspect. So those 3, I believe, are the most important ones that I value the most, and also I want to make sure that we're coaching that and mentoring that for the kids.
Yeah, not just for great players, but it sounds like for amazing human beings as
100%,
well.
yeah.
Because all of those skills too translate into really any position of work or just anything. We need more kind people, we need more resilient people, more understanding people. So thank you for doing that. It's really great work. What does success look like for a future elites athlete beyond the scoreboard?
I believe success for future elite athletes would be the problems and the issues and obstacles that you encountered in the beginning are no longer bringing you down, without our presence. Like you being able to solve those situations, you being able to catch yourself when it's the mental side or aspect, or when it's a technical side, you're able to break it down without our presence. It's something that I believe that's the most important part. If you don't need us anymore after a long period of time, I think that's success, because you can translate that into your own life, and then hopefully you can spread that to other people. You can teach those things, and kind of like a domino effect.
Yeah, I like that domino effect. How is your training different from what players might get in something like a traditional club setting?
Sure. I let the players answer that question. I always like we have a interview process like especially throughout the camps. Like at that last day, we interview a few of the players to ask these questions because that question is something that I always want to know. Because I can say one thing, it's very biased, but if I'm hearing it from the parents and players, then that means okay, we're doing something amazingly. Number one is that the coaches make the players feel very comfortable. It's that there's no they're not intimidated. They know that okay, these coaches are good, but at the same time they feel that okay, they're here for me. They want to help me. And that's one. Number two is holding them at a high standard. Like there's no slacking off. That mentality. I think that also is communicated a little bit differently when it comes to the club coaches. They're either way too aggressive, which kind of pushes the players away. And that's when the intimidation, I don't really like this team anymore, happens. Or they just don't say anything. And neither way is really the right way.
Yeah.
So I forgot the labels for those two aspects. But I know this method of coaching, we call this the mentor mindset. You want to challenge them to the fullest, but at the same time, you want to provide that safe environment for them that they know it's okay to make mistakes. So that balance that we call mentor mindset.
Yeah, it sounds like a tough balance to strike, but something that you've been able to do pretty successfully. It sounds like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice, but
I bet.
100%.
You've worked with DC United Youth Soccer and other top clubs. How do you tailor your approach when working one-on-one or in small groups?
I say this with utmost respect. I believe the clubs obviously are at such level for many reasons. At the same time, I want to do things that are totally opposite of what they're doing because, in my opinion, I don't believe they're doing the right way in regards to youth development. And again, focusing on youth development, emphasis on development. So I think through my experience with those clubs and the DC United soccer camps that I did, I was the director of the summertime for those things. I've noticed what worked and what didn't. So taking away those things and adding my own spice to it, of course, to make the future elites way. But I would say it mostly helped me to not do things that necessarily pushes us away from youth development. I don't want to really get too much into that because I think it will get too political.
Yeah.
But just that as a surface level, I would say that is what I've learned through my experience with different clubs and academies.
No, that makes sense. What do you say to players who doubt themselves or struggle to believe in their own potential? Do you have like a go-to, or does it depend?
I think every player has a different situation.
Absolutely.
It depends on what the situation is and what their personality trait is. I always value one-on-one conversation, even whether it's after the session or water break briefly. I think that allows the player to feel more comfortable and also figure out that this coach truly cares. Once that's established, it's now focusing on what is it that is causing that doubt. Is it the environment? Is it internally? Or is it coming from outside noises? So, like I said, it's different. So if it's outside noise, all right, why do you value their words so much? Why do you give those opinions so much power? And if it's internal, okay, where's that coming from? Because that's not really you. Those thoughts are shaped from experiences and your surroundings. So those thoughts are not really you. So how can we now, so it's, because I can just say, believe in yourself, keep going. But I think those are just cliche things that kids are not stupid. They've heard those things many times, but I think diving deeper into that, it allows them to fully understand it. And that's basically, I think, the way to go about it.
Yeah, it's almost like a diagnostic approach to the doubt.
Yeah.
The way that I see it, and then really tailoring your approach based on what you find and what they're kind of experiencing. That's really cool. What's been one of the proudest moments so far that you've had since launching Future Elites? If you can think of just one.
Yeah, it's low, right? Seeing how far we've come. And when I say we, I mean like the people behind the scenes, the people that, like the coaches, the staff, because obviously without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I really, really appreciate them. And some of them that have been with me for a long time, and even the new ones that are truly bought in, and people behind the scenes, like those staff members as well. I think I'm really proud of the team that is being built, and it's a work in progress. It's not an easy thing, and I've noticed that I've learned that especially as an only child, like being, because you get everything you want in a sense, and then now you have to lead others. You have to make sure you're serving them. As an only child, you don't serve anyone. So learning how to do that, it's been one of the best challenges that I'm so blessed to be facing. So that's definitely one of the many blessings that I've seen so far.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I really love that. What advice would you give to other trainers or entrepreneurs who want to build something purpose-driven like you have?
If you're in Northern Virginia, definitely join Future Elite Soccer. No, but jokes aside, I think number one is putting the money aside. I think if you're chasing the money only, it's going to divert you, and you're not really going to last long in the business. I think number one thing is to truly ask yourself, why do I want to exist here as a soccer coach, soccer trainer? And if you have the answer for that, then why is that so important? I think if you answer those two questions, you'll be able to find a way.
That's great advice. What is your long-term vision for Future Elites, if you have a long-term vision laid out? And how do you hope your players carry this mindset with them beyond the field? You already answered that, but if there's anything else you want to add on that.
Yeah, I'd say our vision as a company is to form our own academy. And that way we can have full influence on the kids, on the players. Because right now we're seeing each player, in a sense, 2 or 3 times a week. But having our academy is going to allow us to see them almost 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. So that way we can have more of that influence that we want. And developing that mindset training program more and more for them. And of course, as we grow, is to have successful teams, successful in meaning of developing them on the technical aspect, but most importantly as leadership development. Because I believe leadership is a multi-million-dollar skill set. So if they're able to translate that into their lives, they're going to be set for life. So yeah, that's the number one vision for Future Elites.
Yeah, and you're so determined, so I won't be surprised when this academy exists. Let's say in a year, maybe?
Sure.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I know that you wanted to touch on your summer camps that are remaining, and then also futsal teams tryouts in November. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So we've had 3 camps so far in the summertime, and the players absolutely loved it, and the energy is just vibrant. So we have 2 more week-long camps. One is August 4th week, and another one's August 11th week, so back-to-back. And then we have a 3-day camp to finish it up, August 18th to 20th. It's for 8 to 15-year-olds. It's a lot of focus on technical development. Each day is a different technical focus, and we have a lot of prizes. On Friday, we give away $100 Nike gift card or Adidas, and then at the end of the period of the camps, we're going to announce one lucky winner for the World Cup 2026 ticket, since it's going to be here. So that's going to be fun as well. So we'll announce that in September once all the August camps are finished as well. So yeah, every camp that you register for is a raffle ticket entry that you get for those things. So it's a lot of excitement. I know a lot of players are looking forward to that. And yes, and then futsal, I'm a big believer of futsal. I believe that's a foundation of soccer. It helps the players to become quicker with their decision making and just technically much more savvy. So that one, the tryouts are gonna be in late October, early November, and we're gonna start the team practices and so forth late in November, and the season's gonna start in December and so forth. It's a lot of good competition. We play against some good teams. This is our third season doing the futsal season, so it's a lot of good stuff that we're learning every single season, and I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, it sounds so exciting. I love the little prizes. I totally agree that futsal is an incredible foundational skill too, so it's really cool that you do that. But yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today?
No, I mean, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I hope it was a valuable podcast
Very.
for whomever is listening. So yeah, no, thank you for having me.